From restricted airports and ghost towns to deserted lighthouses and hidden locations, these are 12 unique abandoned places. Number 12. Constanta Casino, Romania. This beautiful Art Nouveau building was commissioned by King Carol I around the turn of the 20th century. By 1910, it opened up as a casino. It was primarily tailored for the elite and people who could afford to vacation on the Black Sea. Like most non-essential buildings, the casino was turned into a hospital during the Second World War. But it never returned to its former glory. The decline in tourism and rising costs saw this unique building turn into a high-end restaurant by the communist regime of the time. As of 1990, the building is barren. It has become a Romanian National Historic Site, so there might be some efforts to renovate it, but don't hold your breath. On a more colorful note, the Constanta Casino was used in a Sony Bravia 4K TV ad in 2016. Number 11. Tillamook Rock Light, Oregon. Nicknamed Terrible Tilly, this lighthouse was at one point the most expensive lighthouse operated by the US. Construction of the light was officially finished on January 21, 1881. Due to horrible weather in the region, the rock light has suffered a lot of damage over the years. And by horrible weather, I mean wind speeds of 109 miles per hour, launching boulders big enough to seriously damage the structure. In 1957, the government was like, yeah, we can't keep paying for this, so they shut the rock light down. Never to let anything go to waste, investors from Nevada bought the rock, as what I can only assume was a real estate investment. In 1980, the place was sold to another investment company who created the Eternity at Sea Columbarium. What is a columbarium? A building in which funeral urns are stored to forever rest in peace. Unfortunately, the company's license was revoked in 1999. I wonder what happened. Number 10. Darul Aman Palace, Afghanistan. The Darul Aman Palace was built in the 1920s and was one of the most advanced buildings in the region at the time, having central heating and running water. It was supposed to be used for the future parliament of the country, but that never happened. In 1969, the building caught fire. It was fully restored and began housing the Ministry of Defense. Since then, the palace has been under attack multiple times from different forces. Until 2016, there was no sign of repair or reconstruction. As of now, though, work is still underway to return this stunning palace to its former glory. Number 9. The Cape Romano Dome House, Florida. This house entered the mainstream a few years ago when pictures of bizarre dome-shaped structures were found near the coast of Cape Romano. The story is pretty simple and kinda sad. The unique house was built in the 80s by Bob Lee, a retired oil producer. It was the family's vacation home, and this vintage photograph shows what the house looked like when it was in use. Many people mistake it for multiple buildings, but it was only one big building, as you can see. It sure looks like a cool house, though. I wonder what that person is sitting on. A giant chair? Oh, no, wait, no. It's just the railing for the stairs deceitfully hidden by some bush. Number 8. The Jetstar roller coaster, New Jersey. After Superstorm Sandy hit the coast of New Jersey, this is what was left of the Jetstar roller coaster and the surrounding pier. Pretty bleak. The roller coaster was part of the Casino Pier in Seaside Heights, and after the storm surge from Sandy, the pier was successfully repaired, but the roller coaster had to be destroyed. Number 7. The Warner and Swansea Observatory. Located in East Cleveland, Ohio, this observatory was built in 1939 and operated until 1983. The reasons for its closure were mainly light pollution. The building was abandoned and its equipment was moved to different locations. In 2005, a couple bought the property and tried to turn it into a home. But things didn't turn out so well for them. The owners were convicted of mortgage fraud and went to prison in 2007. So it looks like this abandoned observatory won't be demolished or restored for a while. Number 6. Żarnowiec Nuclear Power Plant, Poland. This one is a bit different. The planning for the first nuclear power plant in Poland began in 1972, but it took the government about 10 years to find a suitable location. They landed on Lake Żarnowiec, and the locals were pretty vocal about their distrust in the technology and opposed the construction of it every step of the way. From 1982 to 1990, the plant was in a state of limbo, and everything was finally scrapped and liquidated on December 17, 1990. Number 5. Nicosia International Airport. Located in Cyprus, Nicosia International Airport has been abandoned since the 70s. The site was used as the principal airport for Cyprus starting in the 30s. On July 20th, 1974, Nicosia was bombed heavily due to the Turkish invasion of Cyprus. Whatever was left from the airport was abandoned forever. So why wasn't it completely destroyed? Why is there remnants of planes at the site? I guess abandoned forever is not the exact terminology. The United Nations designated the airport as a buffer zone between the opposing forces, and all soldiers were ordered to move away from it. Nowadays, there are a few rare UN helicopters that still utilize the airport from time to time. Number 4. Nanivac Street, Czechoslovakia. This is pretty strange. The whole street looks like it's been abandoned. Hundreds of broken windows and shattered dreams. And it's not Chernobyl, people. Locals say that this used to be an affluent part of town with many upper middle class residents. But due to bickering and local politics, the residents were pretty much ran out of town, only to be replaced with people who did not care about the neighborhood. Number 3. Prora, Germany. There are 10,000 vacant rooms on the German island of Rügen. This supposed vacation resort was commissioned by Nazis in 1936. The colossal abandoned resort spans 2 miles, and all hotel rooms were supposed to overlook the sea. Hitler, on the other hand, had bigger plans for this resort. He wanted to build, and I quote, the most mighty and large one to ever have existed. And he also wanted to make sure the buildings could be used for military purposes in case of war. And we all know how that turned out. Since the resort's completion, it has not been used by vacationing tourists even once. The buildings have gone through multiple owners and specialized uses, but to this day, most of them are completely abandoned. Number 2. Rumu Prison, Estonia. Well, Rumu Prison is only part of this location as a whole. We're talking about the Rumu Quarry in Estonia. It was created in the 1930s for limestone mining. The mining work was actually performed by the prisoners themselves, and by the 1990s, the whole operation was scrapped. The quarry quickly filled up with groundwater, and most of the adjacent buildings were completely submerged. This location was made extremely popular by the video for Alan Walker's Faded. Look at that. 1 billion views and counting. Who doesn't want to be a part of the Tres Comas Club? Don't forget to comment what your favorite location in this video was. Thanks to Levin Sened and Tay. In the future, I will definitely be focusing on videos like that. Now it's time for some honorable mentions like Ellaville, Florida, a ghost town that has been abandoned for the better part of a century. It was pretty much started because a prominent businessman decided to build a mansion in the area. And a little sneak peek for a future video, abandoned ships and planes. Do you know the location of this shipwreck? Let me know in the comments. Number 1. When I first saw this hauntingly beautiful image of a seemingly abandoned lighthouse, I just had to use it. But I stumbled across some issues. Is this lighthouse in Russia, as this article suggests? No, it's definitely not in Russia. This is what the Aniva Rock Lighthouse actually looks like. Or maybe this increasingly unbelievable lighthouse is in Australia. Google led me to this vastly different location. And after doing some more digging, the real location finally came to light. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you Fastnet Rock, Ireland. This is what the original lighthouse looked like, dating back to 1900. Since then, the light has been updated a few times. And in 1989, the lighthouse switched to automatic operation, and the 3 inhabitants of the rock left for good. Would you be able to live your life on a rock lighthouse? Just you, the sea, and world on Earth. For more awesome content, subscribe and check out this video coming up. See you soon.